We have today the 26th of November 2019. Let's refresh the CoinMarketCap page. So market cap 195 dot almost 8 billion US dollars, and let's check the price for Bitcoin, 7,178 per Bitcoin. Еще раз все заново, короче, сделаем. Чем больше делаем, тем лучше.
Да, тем лучше будет, точно.
Теперь рекордим. Отлично. So, one more time. Welcome on Cryptocasing TV. My name is Eugene, and here we're talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain tech. Let's dive in directly. We have today second interview with a very special guest. So let's switch to Skype. Here we go. Denis Gorbachev, I'm introducing you. He's from Moscow, so born in Moscow, but right now traveling a lot. Let me get back to CV. He's a full stack developer and entrepreneur, won a medal at Moscow City Math Competition. Should be exciting. Since 14 years old, as I can get back. Have been on the business since 19. So when you was 19, you are right now, as I remember, 30.
That's correct.
So you have been invested in altcoins in March 2017. This is why we here are, for cryptocurrency and blockchain stuff. We get back to this topic later. Have been built web and mobile applications, API integrations, trading strategies. Have been using Elixir, Python, JavaScript, CoffeeScript. Well, I'm a web developer. I programmed back 2010 web pages, but those like Elixir, Python, JavaScript, those codes I don't know. Like I could not program something with this code. Have been built, sold up a startup. You built a startup and sold it, right? Pintask.me.
Yeah.
By the way, I checked it. It's working.
Which is cool.
Have been.
I mean, it's still working.
And again, sorry.
It's still working after all these years.
Okay. So when you sold it, like, can you tell us for how much you sold it and who was the investor? Like Microsoft?
Yeah. Actually, that was one of the initial users of Pintask. So when I just released this first version, the person was enthralled by the functionality. I actually provided some functionality that he desperately needed and that wasn't present in other task trackers. There was mirrored cards, so that you could have the same card which represented a task on multiple boards at the same time. And when you edit one card, the other card also mirrored it. So this functionality wasn't present, and he liked it so much. So after, I guess, how much time elapsed? It was around 8 months in. We added more functionality, and he saw how Pintask is being developed, so he decided just to buy it outright.
Awesome, great idea. So let's continue. Have been the main product developer in 2 US-based startups which became profitable business, Flowbo.com and Rentsense.com. What's about those business? Did you follow up them? What they do right now? Did they developing? So you sold those 2 business ideas, right?
Actually, I've been a CTO in those startups. So yeah, I was. Flowbat is, if I remember correctly, Flowbat is still functioning, and that's a tool for security specialists. It's a tool for training those specialists.
Great. And so on, yeah, and so on and so on. Here on the CV you send it me, there's lots of stuff, but let's get into the interview. Tell us about your story. How did you start it with all the stuff, with programming, with the things what you love to do and what you do today?
Well, obviously I love programming, and the love for programming actually brought me into crypto. So back in 2014, when I was working, I had my own team of developers, and we have been working for clients. One of the clients asked me to build a web application for him, and it was a Bitcoin price calculator, a price converter. So that means you could tell this calculator how much Bitcoin you have, and it would output how much USD equivalent you would have. That application was a pretty simple one, but still, the client asked me if I would accept Bitcoin. And I read about Bitcoin, figured out it's actually a good currency by itself. I mean, it's a good asset. And I decided to accept it. The price was around 600, I guess.
Year?
No, $600 US. And the year was 2014.
No, not year. I mean year. When was it? Time.
If I remember correctly, that was 2014.
14. And when is the first time you heard about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
That was around 2011, I would say, yeah. A friend of mine decided to mine Bitcoin. Actually, back then, I decided to install the Bitcoin miner on my own machine.
Did you
I didn't run it. I ran it for a couple of days, and then I decided not to run it. But yeah, back then I wasn't the guy who was experienced in those kind of things. I didn't know much about finance. I didn't figure out Bitcoin back then.
How can I imagine? Like on the computer, you run the software or the client, or did you install a real miner like Bitmain or Kinsi miners in past?
Just Bitcoin miner. I mean, the software itself, Bitcoin client, Bitcoin Core, as you call it right now.
So the first time when you get in crypto, it was 2014. You know crypto science not accepted. What a shame. Tell us about your story, like when you started at first programming, and was it your, like when you was a kid, was it the things you would like to do? You loved it, or just you decided in university, I don't know, in your high grade qualification, those are not the things what I want to do, but I can earn money with it, or how was it?
No, it actually started as a pure passion. Well, okay, my first experience with programming was due to a school assignment. So there was a biology teacher, and she asked us to make a website. I made a special, like a static website in HTML, and that's it. I didn't even use JavaScript back then. But then I get interested in programming in general, and also I liked computer games back then when I was a kid. So one day I realized that I want to make a game which would be a better game than those that I had played. So I asked my father to follow me to so-called Gorbushka market, and back then.
Which market?
Yeah. Gorbushka. That's a special place in Moscow.
Supermarket, no?
No, it was an actual market. Like you had those stalls. You had very simple roofs made of fabric. It wasn't even concrete, back then.
What did you want you to buy?
I wanted to buy a special disk, as I said, a disk to make computer games.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know about the compilers. I couldn't even phrase this request correctly. I just said that I want to make a game, and I need some software to make software.
Virtual game.
What did you say? Virtual?
Virtual game, not real game.
Yeah, I mean computer game.
Yeah.
Right. So actually, the first sellers of those initial stores that we went to, they said that they only have the games themselves. They don't have any special software to make games. So they were like, this was like a temptation to just buy a game and that's it. But I said, no, I want to make one. So me and my father, we started going from stall to stall, and then like the 10th one which we visited, it actually had this special disc with the 3D modelers and
it was in Moscow.
palette. Yeah, it was in Moscow.
Great, nice story. So then you started to program, and one client come up to you and told you, I will send to you crypto, right? For services.
Yeah, just that between these initial programming experiments and the time that my client asked me to accept Bitcoin, a long time has passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a cool journey.
So okay, then you saw the crypto market rise. It's on the way to go to the moon almost. And so what then? What then did happen? What did you decide to do? Like trade, like mine, buy and hold? So what is your story of cryptocurrency or blockchain tech?
So first of all, I decided to buy Bitcoin, obviously, because I already knew about Bitcoin and I believed in it. So actually, I bought Bitcoin with almost all my money. And then I thought, okay, maybe there would be some other asset which would rise faster than Bitcoin. So I started researching altcoins, and I picked a few that I like the most, just based on fundamental factors. I didn't know anything about technical analysis back then. I just thought that, okay, fundamentally, these would be solid projects. So I bought them, and it was March 2017. And a week after I bought them, they started to go up. And that was a crazy experience to have, because actually that's pure luck. Like I don't want to take credit for this act, because that was pure luck. But still, that was amazing. Like 2 weeks passed. First, the week passed, and they started to go up. And then 1 week in, one of those projects, Decred, if I remember correctly, yeah, Decred, that was one of the first risers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw, wow, the price has multiplied. What should I do now? Like, should I hold? Should I sell? Should I buy more, maybe? And that's how I got into trading. I realized that I have to learn how to trade this thing.
Can you remember the platform where you get started in? Where you
Poloniex, of course.
Poloniex, okay. I can remember they had some problems on Poloniex. I've traded also on Poloniex, and I think for like lots of cryptocurrencies which I have in my portfolio, I have around about 100. I traded them on Bittrex.
Yeah, Bittrex was the second one.
Some problems with platforms. So did you had any problems with the platforms anytime? Like me, I lost on 2 or 3 platforms my little portfolios I built up. Or no problems?
Actually, yeah, I actually was burnt by BTC closure. I had a minor position there, and I decided to go to USD. So back then I didn't trust USDT, so I decided to just hold it on an exchange and to rebuy Bitcoin soon because it was going down. But then BTC closed, and
it's a Russian platform, as I remember. I also lost there,
That's
but
correct.
not much, like few Bitcoins. That was not so much in that time. And they have still problems. They are related to the problem of MTGOX, as I know. The CEO of them or something like that is they washed the money there, laundered it, and the CEO is Alexei. I can't remember, but he was busted in Greece, and there's lots of stuff going on. So they're related in MTGOX. MTGOX.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah. So what you do right now? Did you trade? Did you do anything with crypto? What do you think about? By the way, what do you think? Let's say, where will the Bitcoin price end in 2000? Let's say 25, not 2030, 25. In 5 years, where will be the Bitcoin price?
Well, I don't trade like this, and I cannot make such predictions. I just trade range by range. That's all I know. Because I think that I definitely my portfolio, I mean the amount of assets that I have is not enough to move the market. So that means I will have to try to swim with the whales. And in order to do that, I try to keep the open mind. Right now, what I see about the latest price action, that's pretty bearish in my opinion. And not only because we actually had those dumps, but because of the character of the general formation. So we had this Chinese pump, and this Chinese pump has been fully retracing pretty soon. So instead of, if it were accumulation, in my opinion, we would have slow decrease of price, like what you have on altcoins, for example. When you see accumulation on altcoins, the price does go down after the initial pre-pump, but it goes down slowly, like in these kind of formation, very slowly. But Bitcoin, so there was a pump and then some small range, and then it started to go down parabolically. So in my opinion, that's bearish price action. So all I know right now is to short it, yeah.
So you trade, and we wish you all the best portfolio that you can ever make and could handle with the market. By the way, what you can recommend to our viewers, like when they didn't know something about crypto, like zero, and they would like to invest, what do you would recommend? Like where to invest, or what you do, when, and so on?
Well, I might be a bit non-conventional here, but I would recommend not learning about crypto, not learning about the fundamentals, because initially I have invested because of fundamentals, but I was just lucky because, the fundamentals, for example, if I had bought Decred not at the bottom, but somewhere at the top, like around 1 month later, I would have lost.
What was the price? Back then it was 30.
I don't remember the exact price, and I didn't care much about the exact price back then. It was the beginning of March, before the pumps.
Okay, 17. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So if I bought Decred just 1 month after, obviously the fundamentals didn't change, right? But the price pumped so much. So that means I would have lost a lot of money instead of making a lot of money, even though the fundamentals wouldn't change. So I would suggest learning about trading actually, because I believe most assets, so some assets they will go up regardless of market cycle, and BNB token, for example, is one of such assets. But otherwise, definitely the assets are influenced by price cycle.
What is your favorite project, like in crypto project or blockchain project? Do you have one, or you just trade, don't read what I do? It doesn't matter.
I like Binance. I like Binance also. I like CZ. Like.
You mean Binance Coin?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm asking you like project, or you just mean the Binance Coin project, or Binance project?
I mean, I like Binance project itself, the exchange.
Okay, the exchange. Okay, cool.
Also, I like FTX. Actually, I've had an exchange, my own exchange back then, around, I guess, 1 year ago. Actually, 6 months. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I had my own exchange, and FTX is now implementing the same ideas that I had. So I think that they are on the right track, and they have the marketing guys, which I didn't have back then. So I think FTX will also be successful.
So which project did you right now involved in? Like you're taking the most time in this project, and what's the project about?
Well, right now this project is not about crypto. Right now the project is about the neural networks. So recently OpenAI released a GPT-2 neural network, the largest one, with the highest number of parameters.
How we can find it?
You mean OpenAI or my project? My project is not public. Actually,
is it on, or you were working on the API?
I'm working right now on UI. I've already done customer discovery. I've contacted multiple copywriters. You might think that this neural network allows you to generate texts, and I think that this neural network has the potential to replace copywriters. For example, I myself am not a copywriter, but I can generate a 500-word article in just 15 minutes. And
these 15 minutes,
yeah.
Okay, we're good in time. So did you have something to add in addition?
Use technical analysis. Use stops. That's what I can add.
So you got it, guys. Use technical analysis and use whatever. What else?
Stops.
Stop
orders.
Stop it. Stop less. Yeah. Don't go to the deepest sea. Okay. Where can we find you? Like on LinkedIn?
I can send you some links. Yeah. I'm on LinkedIn, and
awesome.
You can find me on Telegram if you want to chat.
So guys, if somebody needs programming skills, or somebody who know about the trading crypto market, join Denis Gorbachev. I'm gonna put all the links in the description. So thank you very much. We are good in time. I wish you all the best investments, and good luck for your projects.
Thank you, Eugen. Good luck to you too, and good luck to your viewers. See ya.
Thank you.